There is no one on earth who is righteous, no one who does what is right and never sins.
Although believers are no longer sinners, we are saints who occasionally do sin. A mature Christian does not claim they are sinless, but is one who repents quickly when they do sin.
No one who lives in him keeps on sinning. No one who continues to sin has either seen him or known him. Dear children, do not let anyone lead you astray. The one who does what is right is righteous, just as he is righteous.
In John chapter 3 verses 6 to 7, John is saying that a believer does not continue to sin. He who is born again does not continually sin, and is not habitually a sinner like he was before he came to know Jesus. As free moral agents, we have a choice to obey, or not. A true believer will want to be obedient and choose not to sin. The key is abiding in him, but none of us abide in him perfectly.
No one who continues to sin has either seen him or known him.
In the Greek, it is speaking of a person who is continuing in willful habitual sin. We are dealing with present continuous verbs.
If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness.
In 1 John 1 verse 9, notice the Apostle John is including himself in the pronoun us used in verse 9. If believers could no longer sin, then why would any of us, especially the Apostle John, have to confess our sins and be forgiven of our sins? To be bored of God does not mean there is no sin ever present, but that our new life is incompatible with sin. We are to have a hatred for sin. We should see it as an enemy, not a friend. The old sinful nature is not yet completely dead, and still causes us to sin. We may occasionally give in to sin, but sin now becomes the exception, and not the rule. Sin is defined as word, thought, and deed. Jesus says if you're thinking about sin, you are already guilty of sin, because it comes from the heart.
I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Keep your mouth free of perversity. Keep corrupt talk far from your lips.